as we said earlier. And now, here we go. We hear the in-game sounds, which means our game is just about to begin. Game number 4 in our set, 3DB versus Wham01. And 3DB, here we go. We see him on the pit in the color orange, playing as the Chinese. And on the opposite side, we see Wham01 playing as the Rus here, going with a single villager on a single hunting cabin to start the game off here.
Yeah, early on, it's going to be all about the bounty, and the pit is a map that it seems really easy to secure up a good amount of bounty for yourself. We're going to see B kind of doing that typical, whoa,
Wait,
not so typical.
Very confusing, untypical. Oh, he went for a double scout opening. All right, I see it, I understand it, I appreciate it. It makes sense. You play versus Rus, you want to deny the bounty. You need to deny the bounty, and the Chinese scouts, now they're really efficient. They get a lot of extra line of sight in the Tang Dynasty. That's the one that you start with. But if you go for that opening scout and you still go for the Imperial official right after, you're gonna struggle to keep producing villagers. It's a lot of investment early on, or in general, it just hurts you quite a bit early on. So, or at the very least, you're not gonna be able to start with this regular opening. Oh, B even sends a villager here in order to get that tier denial. Smart play here from him. Looking good in this one. I mean, these were his tier, but he actually gets a sheep as well. All right, gets value wherever he can find it. Wham on the other side, getting some bounty for himself as well. B has another scout there on the top side, also going for some of his own. And overall, I mean, good value here found by B so far, I would say. Also gets a lot of the sheep.
Yeah, it does look like Wham is dropping down that second hunting cabin in between where the other wood line is, so we'll get a huge amount of gold from that one, as well as already having that initial one. So should be pretty solid, 40 per minute, and then the other one I'm guessing 32, just because that's what.
And he kills a sheep as well. And beekeeper, both of them.
30. Okay, so 70 gold coming in from that hunting cabin, and it's already starting to come into the bank now. So Rus, they get that gold bounty and gold income, but also they get all that extra income from the hunting cabin.
Yeah, and it's only going to get more as soon as he gets these later tier stages in the game for his bounty, and that's also a way to scale that gold income for him. Now, I'm not sure how much bounty he's gotten so far, just because B, he's done a really great job so far of denying bounty in this game, and I think so far Wham probably hasn't gotten too much. Actually, never mind, I take that back. Look at Wham's gold count right now in the bank. Now, sure, he's gotten a lot of that with the secondary hunting cabin, but probably a lot of that is still also from the bounty. He could have easily gone for wheelbarrow if he had the wood for it.
Yeah, I bet you he's sitting on 225 bounty, 250 bounty maybe, but a lot of that gold is from the hunting cabins over time. But I think the really key for him has been the wolf pickups for him. He's picked up a lot of these wolves at different spots of the map.
I agree. I'm gonna say exactly 250 bounty for Wham. Right on the dot.
All right, I'll go with 225 then.
Okay, and it's gonna be 235. All right, so he's still missing a little bit. If he gets another lucky wolf pick. Oh, there is a wolf. All right. Wham is going to be able to make it to the next bounty tier. And with that, that's going to be worth quite a bit for him. It's really important when you go for these hunting cabins and you get that tier 2 bounty, they're suddenly going to bring in a lot more gold than previously.
Yeah, and you get that just extra bit of bonuses. Any way you can find a leg up on your opponent, you are going to do it. And wouldn't even be too surprised to end up seeing him end up getting to 500 at some point in this game if it extends with the high trade house and taking boars.
Yeah, with the high trade house, he could potentially just elite that one hunting cabin and place a really nice high trade house there. Also, his Kremlin is going to be in a really good position. It's going to give him safe gold access. It's going to also protect a lot of his wood, and overall, looking really nice. Now, it's not going to protect the stone, which usually you want to do with the Kremlin, just because stone, that's typically what Rus tend to go for nowadays. They tend to go for multiple TCs. Gonna be interesting to see the approach here playing against the Chinese, if it's really going to be multiple TCs, or if he wants to start up with a lot of pressure.
Yeah, I will say, like, the stone a little less necessary to protect against the Chinese, because if you are going early TCs, China's usually not the one to contest you going early TCs. Usually they go, oh, you're going a TC? Cool. I'll go to my own TC as well, and I'm going to go Song Dynasty, and I'm going to have this better economy in the long run. So that's kind of where Wham can kind of play this a few different ways. goes ahead and calls a few of those militia to try to cause some annoyance and idle time. Maybe even can get there before this Barbican fully finishes.
Yeah, but there's a lot of villagers on the Barbican. 7 villagers on that means it's going to be finishing just in time here. Only 2 militia being called, and yeah, they're not going to be able to get too much damage there. Might potentially idle some villagers here on the sheep a little bit. Just try to get as much value as possible from them. But here, they're not going to find anything. He should just send them in right now because they're going to expire anyways. Actually, Scout probably going down now, and Scout does go down.
Scout goes down. Militia not able to find any damage, and I thought that was exactly what he was going to do, was just say, hey, cause a little bit of idle time on those sheep, but instead he wants to find somewhere to do actual damage, but not going to be able to do so.
Yeah, he's scouting around the wood line, scouting around the stone, and seeing that B right now is not going for any attempts to go onto that stone for any aggression, and now we see a barracks here, so Spearman gonna be coming out from B here. Wham already got a knight out on the field, so makes sense for B to add some of his own spears. Wham behind this, going for multiple TCs.
Yep, kind of that timing that you expect, almost kind of playing it like the French does, where they send a knight out and then they're going to go with some booming up behind it, but will force a reaction with that early knight. B doing a great job, though, scouting out the stone, so he knows that a secondary town center is going to be there and can react his own way accordingly.
Even hitting the mining camp there in order to tell Wham, hey, I see you, I know what you're doing, I see your game plan. Wham not letting that disturb himself. I mean, he didn't have a lot of sheep there, actually. Looking at it, he just ran completely out of the sheep there. Looks like he's actually going to go for 30 TC, so that's something that we've seen from Marine Lord, going for that 3 TC with the ruse.
Yeah.
Civilization like China as well, and yeah, this is gonna be working well for him here.
It's been happening a lot more often, and I feel like one of the reasons was because you always have that backstop of calling the militia to defend up this timing attack push, and even though there's not going to be this timing attack push, at least I think, coming from the Chinese, that it kind of just allows them to be a little bit greedier with these builds, and that's exactly what he's choosing to do.
I'm a little bit okay, never mind. Now he's going for stone, but in a weird spot. He's going for it all the way on the opposite side. Does have a spearman there to defend his villagers. I guess it's closer to the position that he eventually wants to drop. Imperial official!
And another Vil maybe too, but more importantly, even if he doesn't get another Vil, the Imperial official is such a big pickup, such a high cost unit.
Yeah, it means that a ton of efficiency has been lost there. I mean, it's only 0.6 villagers, considering he only has 3 villagers there on the wood line. But the tax gathering and the time that it takes to create, it's definitely going to be hurting B there. It's definitely a big pickup, and now the 30C is going to be coming in from Wham before B even made a second one.
Yeah, so really, really good timing here by Wham. And again, this just kind of shows you what that 1 or 2 knights can do for you early. It forced a reaction and also forced B to go to a different stone vein. If we notice where his knight was, it was sitting right on that wood line next to the stone, and that's why B had to go to the other side.
Exactly. Now TC also coming in on the board. Great spot here for Wham, and B is getting close to his second TC. He's lacking the wood right now. He actually invested into a couple more spearmen, which cost him the wood that he needed to build his second TC, and now he's struggling for a little bit for it. Doesn't have the wood for that second TC, and now has to run all the way back in order to get the wood for it, and that's hurting a little bit in the efficiency right now. And Wham, he's starting to mix in some archers as well.
I saw that archer a little bit ago. I'm wondering if it actually is archers or if it's just one archer that B spots, and maybe Wham has another play behind this, because I still don't see any more in queue.
Yeah, there aren't any more archers in queue, as he said, and maybe Wham just thinks about going for a castle age here now behind this. He certainly can. Can we actually just take a quick look again at these hunting cabins and just look at how much gold they're bringing in right now? Because we earlier only saw them at like the tier 1 bounty, so right now 45 and 34, not too much more, but
I think he's built a few more around on the eastern side, maybe one more on that eastern side, and then
he's added in a couple more there.
Yeah, there's another, so another 30, and so he's over 100 gold per minute as far as hunting cabins go. And this one that's going to be on the deer, and berries going to provide a bonus effect, not only being that food drop off, but again, providing more gold.
Yeah, these hunting cabins definitely paying off for him. And now B, he is on that second TC, and he's actually not behind in villagers right now, so he must feel good about himself when it comes to that. I mean, he doesn't know, but we can feel good for him, I would say.
There we go. Knights, they found that Imperial official, but not really any too much more damage other than that. And B's walling off the west side. It's been kind of Wham continuing to circle from this one area, and so B just says, all right, well, if you're gonna be aggressive, you're gonna have to go through my Barbican and go through my second TC.
Yeah, now B is starting to invest into some Jugunu here as well. Walt's coming in from Wham, and he does have the military there in order to make sure that that scout is not going to be blocking them from going up. And yeah, really important to get these walls here out early on the map. Means that you don't have to fear that side being attacked at all, but military from B is right behind that. Needs to make sure to finish up these walls right now, and walls finished just in time. Military from B unable to pass through the right side anymore. Yeah. And high trade house is coming in, and that's an interesting spot. It's gonna be on the right hand side here. I mean, it's a good idea putting it on that side that you literally just finished walling. It means that it's gonna be safe for quite a bit.
Yeah, and it's just one of those two that maybe he didn't want to have to delete a hunting cabin and just kind of use that efficiency for itself. B is able to scout out that timing, and he is pushing across that western side with that timing attack. That third TC with the boar on it might be at risk here.
Yeah, this could be really dangerous now for Wham. I mean, he does have villagers there that he can put inside of the TC, and I mean, there aren't too many spears there right now, and I feel like the TC should probably be able to... Yeah, that's not going to happen. He's not going to be able to burn that down yet. And Wham behind this, he can now upgrade his archers and go into a lot of veterancy archer spam. And that's a good amount of gold income that he's getting there now from that high trade house. That's almost 3 relics.
Yeah, so much gold income that Wham's able to get passively. So even though he has to get off this gold mine, the real lack of resources is the food. That's what really hurts him more on this TC. But B, he's just throwing away these units for idle time right now, which doesn't seem like a good thing when your opponent just went castle.
Yeah, that definitely didn't work. I guess B was just like struggling a little bit there with the decision making, just wasn't sure what to do right now that his opponent reached Castle Age. What he should do is just keep massing units and try to go up to Castle Age himself. With the Shuganu, he should definitely still be able to compete for quite a while here until, or at least buy time for himself to go up to Castle Age. Unless he takes too many losses now with his units, he's gonna be fine.
What do you think about Wham going into crossbows right now? Seems like an odd choice considering the unit composition on the other side. There's no armor out, there's no Castle Age units, and I feel like...
I would actually say that that was just a misclick because he had multiple more queued, then canceled them and went more into archers. So I hope that was just a misclick because right now, crossbows don't do anything for him, and he is getting the upgrade for his archers as well. He doesn't... I'm not sure if he has a blacksmith yet because he is missing the Pierce armor upgrade, which you desperately need against Jugunus.
Yeah, desperately needs that Pierce armor, and going into archers could use the Pierce damage as well. Chug numbers still pretty healthy, but you know what's not is B's overall food economy. He's got 800 wood in the bank, might need to be having some sort of transition as he needs to be able to get up to Castle Age sometime soon. Oh, it was the deer drop off.
Yeah, he's literally just inhaled the deer and gets a lot of food right there, and is going to be able to click up right behind Wham here in just a little bit, and he's gonna be looking fine. But now knights are running in, might actually get another. We might see another Imperial official going down here potentially. Astronaut clock tower now being built as well. Imperial official is going down.
Imperial official going down, and they're also should be able to maybe pick up some vills on their way out. Nope, just running past. They're here for the views. They're here for the information as well, and forcing a reaction from B.
Such a good decision as well by Wham. He made his warrior monk, and the first relic he picked up was the one on the right side that was still on the map side from B. So he is gonna be ahead once again when it comes to the, or at least no, not once again. Last game was heavily B favored when it came to the relics, but this time it looks like Wham is gonna be very competitive when it comes to them.
Yeah, he's going to have so much passive gold from all these different things. He's going to have the high trade house. He's going to have his hunting cabins, and he's going to have the relics. All of a sudden, we're going to look, and Wham's going to have like 0 on gold and still have more gold income than 3DB.
Walls are getting denied here. Is going to be able to burn through one of these segments if he so chooses to. Instead chooses to run into the army from B. Now chooses to burn it down. All right. Just a little bit of pathing here.
Oh, doesn't choose the lowest health segment. Ooh. Go to the far one. Go to the far one.
Oh, they're indecisive.
No.
Pays for it with the life of these knights, and feels bad, man. Those could have been healed up to full again. Does have a good amount of archer mass right now. With that, he should not be too worried about the Jugunu count from B, but he's still missing the upgrades, the blacksmith upgrades. That's the most important thing for him right now.
Yeah, he does have a decent amount of men at arms starting to climb up. Number is just continuing to climb, 6 more in queue. He has started to mass up crossbows now that B is castle age. It actually makes sense to do that a little bit, but not really, because B is still not making armored units.
Yeah, no armored units out on the field so far. I mean, 10 crossbows, I guess it's just also like a little bit of the mind games. Like, I already have crossbows, you can't make any armored units, but Nest of Bees already in queue for B here right now. Is going to be prepping for that, so he will have an answer to all of the ranged units out on the field right now for Wham. More men at arms, as he said, are going to be in queue for him right now. Question is this the composition that he wants to go for? Because he must know that Nest of Bees are probably right around the corner, and there we go. Springled is now going to be in queue here for Wham. Like to see it.
Yep, middle wall about to get taken down. 3DB repositions his army all the way from Wham's side back to protect up this middle location. And this middle location is very, very crucial on a map like the Pit as far as these massive gold veins if the game starts extending.
Yeah, exactly. That's 16k gold in the middle that both players desperately want to secure for themselves. And now also a lot of stealth force in the middle, so it does make sense for these players to want to get some vision on there with some outposts. And right now, I don't think there's any scouts right there from Wham, and villagers trying to build those outposts are going to have to retreat a little bit further back up. And yeah, he has to wait for these springlers to come out before he wants to take any major engagements.
Ooh, Nest of Bees not firing on the best choice for the first one. Springled steps up though. First shot onto the Nest of Bees. Decent dodge coming out from Wham. Not able to get too much damage. And the Springled still stepping up. A ton of return damage as Wham takes down the Nest of Bees and takes down the whole entire front line of 3DB.
Little raids there in the food economy from Wham, getting taken down by the villagers, and now B is gonna have to retreat. He's once just in the time when he wants to go out to gold there. That is not the timing that he was looking for.
Not the timing at all. Might not even have realized he's onto this gold. Nest of Bees does get a next shot off. A much, much better shot that time. And villagers are here to heal it.
Yeah, villagers able to heal that Nest of Bees, and now Wham, he needs at least 3 Nest of Bees in order to one-shot either the Springlets or the Nest of Bee from B, because he builds them out of the clock tower, meaning that they have 50% bonus HP. Now, farm transition is also coming in right now for B. Wham can wait a little bit with that, since he has all the map control. He went for the boar. He does have that high trade house. Gives him a lot of food overall passively. 2 Springles, 3 Springles out on the field right now for Wham. Needs to wait for the reinforcement Springle to arrive there as well. Then he's going to be able to really start pushing. And right now, still, the engagements that he's taking is quite nice. He's starting to kill villagers, and he is looking quite comfortable right now. He also has a warrior monk forward. Should he choose to attack with that, could also buff up his units. And Springles still not quite pushing in. Warrior monk also choosing to lay down his life for the Rus Empire. And I mean, the Springle count also looking really good right now for B. He's on 3 Springles, also more in the queue, and makes it tough for Wham to trade out in the Springle department, because B only needs 2 shots and Wham's gonna need 3 per Springle.
Yeah, this is one where it's just China is such a siege superiority civ. It's so hard to deal with those clock tower units, and that's what we're going to see here now. But Wham, he has the infantry mass. As long as he doesn't take Nest of Bee shots that are too detrimental, he should be able to win this fight with some good micro.
There's only a single Nest of Bee. I feel like at this point you can probably just sacrifice 1 or 2 of your Springles, just go for the Nest of Bee shot and just push in with your military right now. Oh, it looks like B is re-walling. Or not.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that take there, but a lot easier to see with that bird's eye view. Might not know everything behind in that stealth forest, might not have vision and knowledge of what he needs.
Exactly. But he has the outpost there now. Springles are shooting. Wham loses one for free there. Gonna have to back off a little bit more. And SFB is also moving forward. Monk was there on the sacred side for a little bit, then went back again. Farm transition also happening at the same time for Wham. Could potentially be that this game is once again gonna be one that goes to Imperial Age.
Oh, I knew you were about to say it. Yeah, once I started to see the Siege War come out, this game's extended into Imperial. Keeps are about to get dropped on sacred sites, if I had to guess, onto these locations. And there we go, right as I say that. Wham goes ahead, pulls out some villagers to drop this keep, but needs to be weary as there's already a Treb out. And we saw in a couple games prior that a keep got taken out real quickly as it was getting built up.
Yeah, I mean, that was awkward when you build your keep and it gets taken down the second the blueprint gets created. That was the game that Demu was playing against Puppy Paw. And I mean, now the middle term, I feel like Wham is just giving B a little bit too much time here right now in the set. Okay, actually Siege trading out against each other right now. Not the worst trades for Wham, actually really good trades considering that these are Clock Tower Springles. Yeah, actually really good for him. Really, really good for him. These trades have been amazing.
Yeah, and as we said, he had the infantry mass as long as the Nest of Bees didn't get too good a fire on him. Well, the Nest of Bees never fired once during that fight. It was all Springle micro during that. Both keeps should be going up, and the high armory is about to finish here for Wham, which means he's about to get some Imperial Age upgrades.
Yeah, there we go. Imperial Age finishes, and with that, he's gonna have the greater range upgrade available to him. The rolling shot triggers on his, for his Springles, and he's getting both the upgrades right now. He's getting both the unique upgrade from the Roost to further increase the range by 0.5, and that means that he's gonna have 12.5 range tile range Springles for him. Looking really good there.
Yeah, this is one of those that, like, once you're in this Siege War and your opponent goes Imperial, you have to match it because you will immediately start losing all of your siege because those Springlets can snipe from a screen away.
And what we've seen here in previous games, or at least the game that I think that was the one that Marine Lord played, where he actually went for the Spaskaya Tower as the ruse, especially in a game against Chinese. Because in the late game, playing against Chinese, you really, really, really want stone walls. Because the Fire Lancers are able to break through so quickly past the normal palisade walls from the ruse, and it just becomes really, really tough. And now we see, all right, just normal walls here right now for Wham, as he didn't opt for that landmark. Doesn't step up into some keeps on those sides, and yeah, wants to protect the sides that way. It's gonna be tough though if the Fire Lancers come out, and they can really easily burn down keeps as well. B has enough resource to go up to the next 8, and looks like it's gonna be a Great Wall Gatehouse in the middle once again.
Trebuchets, double trebuchets get sniped out by those Springles, and this is what I was talking about, where all of a sudden you don't have that siege range, and the Springles step up and shoot you from a mile away. That being said, Wham lost his keep and lost his protection here in the center, so if 3DB ever wins a fight, he is free and clear to run through to Wham's eco.
B is now making a Spirit Way, so it's not going to be a Great Wall Gatehouse. He did initially start building some stone walls there, and it looked like he was going for a Great Wall Gatehouse over there. Now chooses to opt for the Spirit Way instead. He is still in the Song Dynasty yet, so I mean, if it goes to the big late game kind of thing, what I would like to see from B, even though it's unlikely, would be Spirit Way into Great Wall Gatehouse into Imperial Academy. Now, that's a lot of resources, but that ensures that he's got access to the Grenadiers and is in UN Dynasty, which is just the better. And it is a Great Wall Gatehouse, right? He's going for Ming Dynasty. He does it. He actually does it. All right.
You said it and I laughed, but he has the resources to do it. That being said, this is so many resources he's sacrificing here now that could allow Wham a timing to break through.
Are we gonna see Grenadiers here? I can't believe it. We might actually be seeing Grenadiers here in S2 tournament in a 1v1. All right. Okay. Hopium.
Hopium is high. Ming Dynasty is on its way. But Wham, he's taken this central sacred site point now. He's planning a keep. You already see the outlines here. Nest of bees, they're ready. There's triple nest of bees. So Wham will need to watch out for this fight.
There aren't any Streltsy out on the field right now, as Wham is completely pop-locked, and Nest of Bees are gonna get taken down by these long-range Sprinkles right now.
Oh, and another one.
Ooh, that hurts. That hurts. Okay, and now B doesn't have the resource to go for you in Dynasty. Right now, he's a little bit trapped in Ming Dynasty. He's not making any Grenadiers. He's opting for some hand candies instead right now. Can't really make Grenadiers when your opponent is mostly range composition right now. It's gonna be tough to get them in there, but would have still liked to see them so far, but units just trading out against each other right now.
Crossbows, what are you doing? Oh, he clicked on the Vills and the shoot with the Chooks, and they just started running on forward to chase them down, and this looks like a fight Wham could potentially win, but I'm not sure if he has Vills there anymore to build the keep now.
Yeah, no villagers building the keep currently, and I mean, the fight looks to be going the way of B right now. He's not really pushing much forward right now, but because he's got 23 men-at-arms in the queue. I hope he has the production to work with that.
Wham, he brings villagers forward not to finish the keep, but to just gather gold right there in the keep range. He just wants this outline to look good and nice for him, and he is the one who won the fight. His reinforcements came on in. He still has those Springles non-stop attacking on the backside. They're not the Springles of the old days, but they are still damaged nonetheless.
I wonder if Wham got the upgrade that is Bombards do more damage to infantry and also just attack faster, because these Bombards, they did a lot of damage to the army here from B, and B is struggling hard on gold. He still hasn't been able to upgrade his Palace Scouts right now, and he went out to the middle gold earlier, which got contested, while he still had the large gold in the corner available to him.
Yeah, and this is where Wham now is pushing up with this timing. Like I said, B might have been too greedy with going for Spirit Way and Great Wall at the same timing.
I think we might see game number 5 here.
You know, B's just a man of the people. He wants us to have some excitement. He wants game number 5. And so that's why he went for it. He wanted to maybe see some some Grenadiers, but couldn't afford it, can't do it. And look at Wham. He's got the Ram. We're going to Ram Ranch.
Ram Ranch indeed, finally able to get the upgrades for his Palace Scouts, but at this time, it just feels like it's a little bit too late, not able to keep up with the amount of units that Wham is floating in, and there it goes. The game number 4 goes the way of Wham, and yeah, Wham took B to Ram Ranch here, quite literally. As soon as those Rams appeared, B knew that he is not going to be able to come back in this one, and we're going to have a game number 5 here in this set. That's our first game 5, I believe.
Yeah, definitely going to be a game number 5, and what a series this one has turned out to be. B is turning the heads around. There's so much excitement here with it, and Wham able to secure that next game after that hour and 9-minute brawl the game before, and let's see what game number 5 has in store for us after.
Yeah, look at that military count. I mean, B, he's had a lot of military, but just, I feel like that's a mistake that he, in the end, went for. He went for the Great Wall Gatehouse on the side that wasn't contested. If he went for it in the middle, I think he definitely could have bought himself way more than enough time, and that, in the end, not happening might have just cost him the game here. I feel like if he just had a couple more minutes to set himself up, he could have definitely dragged the game out longer, maybe actually went for a way to come back in it. It definitely looked like it was in Wham's favor. He had the relic advantage, massive gold advantage, so much massive gold on a map like that. But no, it looks like it's going to be our game number 5, and we're going to be seeing the French from B versus the Abbasid from Wham.